How's it going, everyone? It's Juan Romero here from SwitchWatch, back with another review, a game called Never Give Up from Armour Games. Let's get into this one, break it down and see if it's worth your time and investment. When I think of the phrase never give up, think about Mohamed Salah donning that garment with the phrase never give up when Liverpool were 3-0 down to Barcelona in the semi-final and needing 4 goals to go through to the final, and yet they did. They never gave up and went through 4-3 on aggregate. There are many more tales of people not giving up in life or teams in sporting events. However, in this game, you're going to remember that phrase every time you pick up the pad to play Never Give Up. The story here is very simple in that you wake up and begin your journey trying to figure out who you are, why you're here. You are but a simple stickman thrown into these death-defying levels, but why? It's up to you to traverse those worlds and find out. In terms of gameplay, let me tell you that first of all, you can choose 3 difficulty modes, and I don't care what they're called, they're all bloody difficult. Easy is not easy, and hard is harder than hard, and the other difficulty let's call impossible, because I can't think of anyone who would enjoy this game with permadeath. You see, you'd only have 1 life and then you'd have to start the game all over again, whereas in the other modes you can die over and over again and just keep replaying those levels. Anyways, if you enjoy games like Super Meat Boy Slime Sand or The End Is Nigh, well, this game might be for you. Each world has a number of rooms here, and each of those rooms is broken down into parts, which I do like a lot. It allows you to get used to each part of a room, and each time you reach the exit, new traps are added for your next run through, and you start again from the beginning of the room. Only this time it will be a little bit larger with new elements added and more difficult for you to complete each room. Now each room has 6 or 7 parts or so. There is a little red meter also which fills up each time you die, and deaths are recorded for your viewing pleasure. As the bar reaches the top, you are able to give up the room if you hold down L and R, and you'll be able to move on to the next room. As Jordan so eloquently put it in his last review, you can fail your way through the game if you want, but where would the rewarding feeling be in that? But of course that doesn't stop you from really wanting to. If you do give up, the game will make a bit of fun of you, saying maybe you're best off laying down in a garden or having a cup of tea. It's not your fault that you're so much of a lightweight that you can't take on games like these. The sarcasm used here is utterly brilliant at times. If you find the level too difficult and do give up, there's also a nice red stamp against it saying so, a constant reminder of your failure. I love the way the game was able to make both fun of itself and often you with hilarious results. The number of times you will perish will be in the hundreds, thousands possibly, and the number of players who will give up before they reach World 2 will probably be quite a lot, but persevere and the rewards are getting more costumes, more coins, and even being able to pick the worlds that you choose when you get far enough, and of course recording those times on the leaderboard. Speed lovers are going to absolutely love this, with each part of the room being timed, the leaderboards to compete against your friends, which adds to that extra level of competitiveness. HD Rumble here is also used nicely, which is a nice added touch, especially when you're brown bread and you've hit a spike or whatever trap you may have come across. My only criticism though is that the rooms, no matter how far in the game you do get, they do become a little repetitive over time. Collectibles are also here to make each level even tougher if you want to. Easy mode does have checkpoints on each level, and boy will most casual players need them. Maybe even some of the harder core players out there will need these checkpoints, because beating each level once you get into the latter parts of them with 1 life almost seems utterly impossible at times. Making you start right from the beginning again is going to be a real tough ask for many of you. But for those who are perfectionists, well, you're going to absolutely love that you can play the game, in a harder mode if you prefer. Personally, I found that the game for me was most playable when it had the checkpoints switched on. Otherwise it was bordering, as I say, on really difficult for me, and even there were times where I really wanted to chuck my controller at the TV. And if you've got a short temper, I recommend that you do not play this in handheld at all, because the frustration will be palpable at times. Jumping around with your character is a simple affair. You only really have a few moves: run, jump and double jump, which you can also use to bounce off walls. It's the levels that keep things interesting and the involvement of its traps. There are saws, homing missiles, electricity which will zap you, pits of fire, pits of acid, and even water which you can't even swim in, unfortunately. You'll need to defeat a number of bosses and there is no give up option on these, so for those of you that want to give up on the bosses, well, you're out of luck here. In terms of audio for an indie game, I was really impressed. Your character is absolutely hilarious, often pinging one-liners at you when he perishes. Arin Hanson does a brilliant job in the voice acting here. Take a listen to see what I mean.
There's something real fishy about this place. This doesn't feel right. Time to go key hunting. Oh, come on. Where would you even buy those? I'm alive! I'm alive! Whew, it is warm. Somebody turn the aircon on?
I found it added a lot more to the character you were controlling and made it a little bit more light-hearted when things went wrong. The music's always very good too, being different in each of the worlds, and I really enjoyed the background tunes here. It just felt right for the game. The sound effects were all very well done, especially the splats when you hit a saw or a spike. Always brought a smile and a grimace to my face within a few seconds of each other. In terms of visuals, there isn't anything fancy here, but they do the job and depict everything well, especially the blood, which you can turn off if you're a little bit squeamish in the options. I love the fact that when you hit a certain saw, the blood is still there on your next playthrough though, to remind you where you died. Performance though is where the game had a few issues, and I certainly didn't expect this. You will restart the stages really quickly, especially when you die, and you want to get going again really fast. And at those times is when the game would slow down. It was unexpected, as I say. It slightly hampered and spoiled my experience, and this is one of the down points on this game. I hope that the developers can put out a patch to solve this issue, because it is something that is rather noticeable all the way through your playthrough. The only thing to do, for me that worked anyway, was just to take a little bit of time in between restarts, but then you're going to spoil that fast run through that you're looking for, so that doesn't really solve the problem. Now, there is plenty of value to be had from this game, over 250 stages, and as I say, each room itself has elements which opens up, making it more difficult. The game is priced at $14.99 for our friends in the USA, £12.09 here in the UK, and for those of you around Europe, you've been asking us for the euro prices, so it's $13.39 in euros, which I think is quite good value. It's giving most of you many hours of gameplay, 6 worlds with multiple levels and bonus levels also, each perfect for speedrunners or those who just want to take their time. Those who want more of a challenge will have it here. Is it for everyone? Probably not. It's going to be a little bit tough for most players, but as long as you're aware of that, you know what you're getting here. Now, before I get into my verdict, if you're a new watcher here, then please consider subscribing. Hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so you can be notified when our next video review goes live. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to leave a like, and why not leave us a comment letting us know what you think of this game. In terms of my verdict then, Never Give Up is an apt title for this game, that's for sure. It's really tough, but also really fun, and if you don't give up, then you'll ultimately feel rewarded in beating this one. We've seen many of this type of game, especially on the Nintendo Switch. It doesn't do anything to reinvent the wheel per se, but what it does do, it does well. And that's present a game which is very tough to master, but will put your skills in this platformer to the test. And even when it doesn't go your way, it's quite often hilarious to see those failures and see the game make fun of them a little, and you can also learn to do better from next time. The one downer really is it does get a little bit repetitive, and there is slowdown at times, which is unfortunate. However, if this game is your thing, pick this up, but if not, wait possibly for a sale down the line. I'm giving this one a solid 7.5 out of 10. Really hope you enjoyed this review, ladies and gentlemen, and if you did, leave us a comment down below. I want to know what your favourite really hard game is. Let me know in the comment section down below. Be really interested to know your thoughts on that. If you're a new watcher here, of course, consider subscribing by hitting that subscribe button and bell notification so we can notify you when our next videos go live. We do all sorts of things here, but mostly it's reviews. We do a few feature videos, lists and gameplays, and I'm sure if you're into the Nintendo Switch, you're going to enjoy the content from James, Jordan and myself. Now, if you want to check out some games which are similar in nature to this one, then check out our review of Super Meat Boy, The End Is Nigh, or if you want something different, why not check out our very recent review of Turok 2 coming up now, so make sure you click on those, and we'll see you, ladies and gentlemen, over there. My name's Juan Romero, and I'll see you again on the next one. Take care.